Jimmy Cliff was a pioneering Jamaican singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, and actor whose work helped globalize reggae music. He rose to fame with hits like You Can Get It If You Really Want, Many Rivers to Cross, and I Can See Clearly Now, and starred as Ivan in the landmark film The Harder They Come, whose soundtrack brought reggae to the world. Over his 60-year career, he won a Grammy, was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2010, and in 2003 received Jamaica's highest civilian honor, the Order of Merit. At the time of his death, he was the only living reggae musician to hold the Order of Merit. November 24th, 2025, Jamaica and music fans mourn the passing of Jimmy Cliff at age 81, and we remember his life and legacy. Early life and family. Jimmy Cliff was born James Chambers on July 30th, 1944, in the rural Summit district of St. James Parish, Jamaica. He was one of 9 children born to a poor family. His father was a tailor and farm laborer, and his mother worked in domestic service. His mother left the family soon after he was born, and young James and his older brother Victor were raised by their father. The family's maroon heritage ran deep. They were descended from escaped slaves in Jamaica's interior, and music filled their home even without radio or TV. Cliff began writing songs at an early age, performing at church and local gatherings by age 6. At 13, he quit formal school to pursue music. His father then brought him to Kingston around 1958 to 1960 to continue his education and find work. In Kingston, he attended a technical school and began to immerse himself in Jamaica's vibrant music scene. It was in this city that James Chambers adopted the stage name Jimmy Cliff, a moniker he first used as a teenager seeking a recording contract. Music career. 1960s. Cliff's career took off in the early 1960s. He worked odd jobs in Kingston by day and hustled demos by night. In 1962, he released his first Jamaican hit single, Hurricane Hattie, which topped the local charts and launched him to fame. He quickly followed up with more Jamaican hits and even represented Jamaica at the 1964 New York World's Fair. In 1965, Cliff signed with Island Records and moved to London in search of international success. Island initially tried marketing him to rock audiences, but it was his reggae/ska recordings that resonated. By the late 1960s, Cliff was a global star. His 1969 single, Wonderful World, Beautiful People, broke into the UK charts, reaching number 6, and he earned praise for protest-tinged songs like Vietnam, 1969, a tune that Bob Dylan called the best protest song he had ever heard. He also released acclaimed albums, such as Hard Road to Travel, 1967. 1970s. Cliff's profile rose even higher in 1972 when he starred in the classic Jamaican film The Harder They Come. He played Ivan, a rural youth who turns to crime while chasing music success. Cliff performed several songs on the soundtrack, including the title track, The Harder They Come, and You Can Get It If You Really Want, which became global hits. The film and soundtrack were pivotal. They introduced reggae to wide international audiences. The movie is still regarded as a cornerstone of Jamaican culture. In this era, Cliff also covered popular songs. For example, Cat Stevens' Wild World made the UK top 10 in 1970 and toured extensively worldwide. He released hits like Many Rivers to Cross, Reggae Night, and Sitting in Limbo, blending reggae with soul and pop. In the late 1970s, Cliff took a hiatus from music, traveling to Africa to explore his roots. He converted to Islam during this period, taking the name El Hajj Naim Bachir. This spiritual journey influenced his 1978 album Give Thanks. He later spoke about having a universal outlook and eventually described himself as believing in science. 1980s, 2000s. Cliff returned to music with renewed energy. In 1985, he won a Grammy Award for Best Reggae Album with Cliffhanger. He appeared on Saturday Night Live, 1976, and in the Hollywood comedy club Paradise, 1986, alongside Robin Williams. His song, Trapped, was championed by Bruce Springsteen and featured on the charity album We Are the World. Over the decades, Cliff continued to record and tour. His 2012 album Rebirth won critical acclaim. In 2010, He became one of only 2 Jamaican artists inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the other Jamaican inductee being Bob Marley. Throughout his career, Cliff received numerous honors. In 1988, he was awarded the Order of Jamaica, and in 2003, Jamaica's Order of Merit, the nation's highest honor for contributions to the arts and sciences. Prime Minister Andrew Holness called him a true cultural giant, whose music carried Jamaica's heart to the world. By blending reggae with soul and rock, Cliff had not only a powerful voice, but also an uplifting message of hope, unity, and resilience. Personal life and beliefs. Jimmy Cliff was known as a family man and a thoughtful, spiritual individual. He was married to Latifah Chambers, a Moroccan-French-Jamaican writer, with whom he had 2 children, daughter Lilty and son Aiken. He was also father to an older daughter, actress/singer Nabia B, from a previous relationship. In interviews, Cliff often said his family was his top priority, even above his music career. Cliff's religious and spiritual journey was eclectic. He was raised Christian, briefly embraced the Rastafarian faith in his youth, and later converted to Islam during the late 1970s. In later years, he described himself as having a universal outlook on life, and even quipped that he now believes in science. He told The Guardian that his faith was personal and not tied to formal religion. Throughout his life, he emphasized principles like love, honesty, and perseverance, values that came through in his lyrics. Death and legacy. On November 24th, 2025, Jimmy Cliff passed away at age 81. His death was confirmed by his wife Latifah via a public statement and social media post. According to the family announcement, Cliff crossed over due to a seizure followed by pneumonia. Fans around the world, from reggae listeners to Hollywood stars, mourned the loss. Tributes poured in, with Jamaica's Prime Minister and countless musicians hailing him as a cultural giant whose music lifted people through hard times. Lifestyle, net worth, homes and cars. Jimmy Cliff enjoyed a successful and financially stable lifestyle thanks to his music career. Industry reports estimate his net worth was on the order of $10 to $18 million at the time of his death. This wealth came from album sales, touring, royalties, film work, and smart management of his song rights. He won Grammy and had enduring hits, so he continued to earn significant royalties into his later years. Clifford's family mentioned that he made sure to secure his family's future through his music catalog. If you enjoyed this tribute to Jimmy Cliff, please like this video, share it with fellow fans, and subscribe for more music history content. Leave a comment below with your favorite Jimmy Cliff song or memory. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's keep celebrating the music of this reggae legend together.